back at the couple weeks ago this month now. What is it about the Chili Bowl and that event that keeps bringing you back every year?
Um, Honestly, I just like going racing with my friends. The event's obviously really fun. It's more of a party than a race, probably, but yeah, I just really enjoy kind of everything that goes into it. Like there's not a lot of rules, so you can build different stuff and be a little bit outside of the box with the race car compared to regular midget racing. And I think really the whole event is just it's a good time. The atmosphere in the building is really cool. And just being able to go racing with my friends is a lot of fun for me.
What are your thoughts on how things played out for you this past year and that with how the team performed?
Yeah, we were pretty okay. Jake ran really well. I was really happy for him. Obviously bummer with what went on with CJ on Saturday. He should have been in the Saturday A pretty easily and just had a human error cost us that. But yeah, I mean way better than last year for sure. So it was a lot of fun. And we had three solid prelim nights and an okay Saturday. So it was all right.
I mean, you mentioned how well Jake ran on his prelim night, and then we've seen CJ run well before on the main event night. What do you feel that you and the team need to work on to truly be in contention for a driller one year?
Yeah, I mean I've been asking myself the same thing. It's tough, right? Like we don't not racing a midget all year. Like CJ, Jake, and KT really don't race midgets at all throughout the year. So I don't think Jake and CJ ran a midget at all from last Chili Bowl to this Chili Bowl. So just that's difficult, like trying to hit the ground running on your prelim night, just not having a lot of midget laps. Obviously, they're quite a bit different than a sprint car.
Right.
And then on my side of things, really just not like we had zero notes on that tire. Obviously, a lot of those guys raced that tire all year long. And my whole notebook is on a different tire back when there were no tire rules. It was open tire rule at Chili Bowl. So the tire kind of changed things a little bit for us. So I think just getting more races under our belt on that tire, you know, I feel like the rules are going to continue to evolve. They've got some chassis rules that are going to come into play, and I feel like they're kind of going down the direction of making it more of like a USAC rule race, which if that happens, I'll probably be out. But as long as there's no weight rule and a thin rule book, I'll be there having fun.
What's been your most memorable moment from going to the Chili Bowl like all these years?
Um, I think probably the first time we made the show on Saturday was really cool, but um, we've been in contention for wins on prelim nights a couple times now, and that's been really neat. And honestly, like CJ and Jake are two of my best friends, so just being able to go racing with those guys is really fun and just I'm pretty appreciative for the success that we've had. You know, we're not like a big experienced race team. It's me putting some cars together, trying to go have fun. So it's been a really good time.
You've seen a lot of your fellow Cup Series competitors decide to run the event at one time or another. Who would you like to see run it that has not done so yet?
Oh, that's a good question. Gosh, I mean, I feel like anybody that wants to do it, right? It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Midgets on that track are super fun. Like I was more of a pavement guy growing up, but that racetrack just puts on phenomenal racing for the most part. So yeah, I think it's really cool. I mean, all of them. I feel like everybody should jump in. It's really fun.
Switching gears a bit and that, and the times that you ran a midget in the past, is there anything that you could take that you've learned from that weekend to use it towards your Cup Series stuff?
Um, I don't know. Obviously, growing up racing pavement midgets, that was kind of like my path to stock car racing, or my path to get noticed, which I think pavement midgets, they're still my favorite race car in the world. They were super cool getting to run a lot of big, fast racetracks, and a really small, twitchy race car was really cool. But they're so different as far as driving. I think just the more stuff you drive that's different, the more you diversify yourself as a race car driver, it all pays off in whatever you're racing. So, like when running the wing sprint car the last couple of years, I feel like kind of slowed down cup racing just because of how fast the wing sprint car feels. So, I feel like everything kind of has their little, things that stand out to help you. But the midget side of things, they're not super fast, but they're really twitchy, and pretty difficult to drive. So they're a lot of fun.
What are your thoughts as you look ahead to the upcoming Cup Series season?
Yeah, just ready to go. Obviously 23 didn't go how we wanted it to. Like the first 10 weeks did, and then it all went downhill. So I'm excited about it, ready to go. Just looking forward to kind of having a little bit of a reset this off season, and being able to, you know, focus on getting back to where we need to be, and hopefully contending for a championship.
I was gonna say, with how well last year started off, how much does that help that confidence in knowing that relationship you've built with Blake?
Yeah, obviously we showed we can do it. We just if I wouldn't have broke my back in the middle of the season, it would have been a little better. But yeah, just looking forward to hopefully, being able to do that. Obviously, the start of the season with a lot of speedways kind of right off the bat, that can make or break the point situation for the first couple weeks. But from there we get to a little normalcy, and looking forward to just having fast race cars and going to work.
Do you feel that there's an added pressure to perform just based on the time that you've had out of the seat and that, like the past couple of years, and how that's affected the performance?
Um, I don't know if there's added pressure. I feel like I always put a lot of pressure on myself. Like nothing's ever good enough.
Fair.
So,
Yeah.
um, that's still there, and I certainly wasn't where I wanted to be the second half of last year. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pressure, but I mean, if I would have won 10 races last year, that pressure would still be the same.
Okay. What have you and Blake worked on this past off season to be stronger for 2024?
Um, I don't think it's been one specific thing. I think there's been a lot of work with, um, you know, we changed some personnel stuff. We've, I mean, obviously been around each other a lot with Chili Bowl and all that, with his family having a team out there. So, I feel like our relationship is really strong. And honestly, I think just kind of having the reset of the off season was really good for us. I feel like it was like every little thing that could go wrong went wrong for us in 23. And anytime we were running well, it was like something happened. So just being able to reset and kind of get back to just like level playing field and go from there is really good. But yeah, it really hasn't been one specific thing. It's kind of been a little bit of everything.
What track on the schedule are you most excited to get to?
Probably Dover. Missing that race last year, I was super bummed. That's my favorite track. So definitely looking forward to that one. But really, I mean, everywhere we go, I think we're capable of winning.
Right on. It seems there's like a perfect teammate dynamic in Hendrick Motorsports right now, and that all four of you get along. How beneficial is that for you guys when, as a group, you're trying to keep pushing that envelope?
Yeah, I mean, I think the four of us do get along pretty well, so I think that's good. There's been some tight racing between all of us over the years, and I think we all kind of just took a trip together to Florida and hung out. So that was a good time. Yeah, I think we have a good relationship. We work well together. We know how to communicate with each other and kind of get the most out of each other, and figure out like how we all can help. So yeah, I mean, I think that's really crucial. Having four teams that work really well together is super important. And obviously, I've been at HMS for quite a while, but not super long. And, everybody that's been there for kind of forever says that this is the closest that four teams have ever worked together. So, I think that's really important, and we're gonna keep digging at it.
I hate to put you on the spot, but out of your teammates, who's your favorite to work with and why?
Um, I think William does a really good job of things. Like you look you look at where he started in his cup career and where he's at now. Um, he's come a really long way and is super fast everywhere, every single week. So I enjoy working with him and Rudy. I think that team, like I really enjoy talking to Rudy, and they do a really good job. So I enjoy talking to them for sure.